Hi guys, and welcome to 15 Minutes Beginner's Course. Hopefully in this course you're going to learn everything you need to know at the beginner stage of learning the guitar. In this first video I'm just going to talk you through just a few bits of advice to help you through the whole video as you go through, okay? So first bit of advice for you is to get the right tools for the video, okay? So you're going to need a few things to help this course be a lot easier for you, okay? So the first thing I would say you're going to need is a good music stand, all right? We're going to give you lots of PDFs and sort of things you can download. Although it looks great on a computer screen, I would say the best thing to do if you can is to print that out. If you've got a printer at home, print it out, pop it on a music stand. It will get you into good practice of sitting down properly with the music stand in front of you. Also, get yourself a decent chair, okay? Sat on the edge of a bed is not the greatest thing for your back. It's also not the greatest thing for your practice, okay? So get yourself a good chair, something like this, with a back on it, where you can you can rest your back against it. And you don't want to be arching over the guitar like this when you're practicing, looking at the frets like that, because after a period of time you're going to get neck and all sorts of problems, neck and back aches, which is what we don't want, okay? So a decent chair and a music stand where you can look ahead when you practice and you can get used to practicing correctly. Next thing you're going to need on your little shopping list is a tuner, okay? So you can use the pedal format tuner or a clip-on tuner. Any of those is perfectly fine and they'll work really well. You may have some accidents as well with tuning the guitar. You might over-tune a string and snap it. So that leads me on to my next bit of advice. Get yourself a spare set of strings, okay? Most guitars, if you're playing on electric, will come with a set of nines, gauge nines. So you can confidently walk into a shop and say to the cashier, can I get a set of nines, please? And you can have that in any variety or brand. You can have Ernie Ball, D'Addario, Elixir, whatever you fancy. But a set of nines is probably very common on an electric guitar. It's the standard set that comes on most guitars. If you're using an acoustic, the standard set for an acoustic probably around about gauge number 12, okay? Gauge is just the thickness of the string, but gauge 12 is very common on an acoustic. On my acoustic that I use, it's a Taylor GS Mini. That's actually gauge 13, okay? So slightly heavier gauge. But if you're just using a standard acoustic guitar, it's very likely that it'll come with gauge number 12s. And again, you can pick any brand you like for that, D'Addario, Ernie Ball, Elixir, whatever you fancy. It's down to you and whatever you want to try, okay? I'll maybe try a couple of them and see which ones you like. So definitely a spare set of strings because there are going to be accidents. You are going to, over-tune the guitar maybe and snap a string. That happens. It happened to me when I started out. Didn't know what I was doing and just unfortunately snapped a few strings. So that's going to happen, okay? So just expect that. So keep yourself a spare set of strings because once you're practicing and you're motivated and you're really getting into it, this course, you are going to need a spare set of strings. If you snap a string, it'd be really unfortunate and annoying for you if you've got to wait for the weekend to get down the shop and get yourself a set of strings, okay? So you're going to need a set of strings. The other thing I would probably recommend you get is a good variety of picks, okay? So some plectrums. So just try them out. At the beginner stage, you wouldn't have found out yet which pick suits you, okay? So get yourself a big handful from the shop. Just take a few that you like, different shapes and sizes. The medium ones, the small ones, the thick ones, whatever you fancy. Just take a random mix of them, and you will find. And just try them as you practice. You say, I'll try this one today. I'm going to try a medium one today. I'm going to try a heavy pick today. Okay, and just see which one suits your playing. You will find one that you go, I like that pick. I'm going to use that pick most of the time. Okay, so that's important. And then the other thing, which I think is really really good, is to get yourself a metronome, okay? You can get a really old-fashioned metronome, the ones that are a bit like a clock, and a little, like the arm of a clock that ticks like that. That you can still get hold of those nowadays, but they're a bit more expensive. I think the best thing to use if you've got one is, a metronome that's on your tablet. So on your iPad or on your Android device or on your iPhone, whatever it may be. I use an app called Pro Metronome, which you can download from the App Store. I think it cost me around about $1.99, but it's a good investment because I've used it so much for practicing things like scales and other exercises with, and it's good for your timing. Okay, so definitely grab yourself a metronome because that'll be really good and really good tool for practice. Okay, so we're going to carry on now, and we're going to talk just quickly about how to hold the plectrum. Okay, so it's a really important part of the course. If we can use a plectrum properly, it will really sort of aid you in your future playing, and you won't have to change if you hold the pick wrong and you get further down the line and then you'll suddenly have to change how you hold the plectrum. It's going to really set you back. So it's really important from the beginning to hold the pick correctly. I've seen a few different variations of holding a pick. I've seen people hold it like this, which I can't see how that will work because there's too much to pick on display and you're just going to drop that. The way that I use it, and it's a very common way I think, is pointy bit of the pick, this part, the spiky part of the pick, down, okay? And then you use your thumb of the right hand across the top there, so it's covering up that logo there. Across the top, I use my first finger, I bring that one in, and then I push back against the thumb on the opposite side there. I don't want too much pick, so I don't want that. Yeah, because if I do that, I'm likely to drop it. I want just the right amount of pick like that, just about that much on the bottom there to show. The less pick, the better, really, because you got more chance, you got more control of the pick like that, okay? Don't grip the pick really tight as well, like this. Don't like be the Hulk grip. We don't want that. Just be sort of really gentle with the pick and let the pick glide between your fingers there and your thumb, so that you don't drop the pick. All right. So that's how you correctly hold a plectrum. And to practice that, you just just pick a note on the fretboard. Just fret number 1 on here, and just pick it. And just pick that, and just carry on picking that, and make sure it feels comfortable with the right hand. Okay. Another thing just to quickly talk about as well, there's a variation on picking strokes as well. You've probably seen this. If you do some more research, you'll hear things like down picking and alternate picking. Just going to quickly explain that. Throughout the most of this course, you can get away with doing just down picking. Okay, so if you find alternate picking a bit too difficult for you at this moment, you can get away with the whole course just doing down picking. Okay, and it will sound absolutely fine. And I would suggest that's probably what you do for this whole course. However, obviously down picking is just angling the pick down like that. Okay, we angle into the string like that. We don't want to hold the plectrum like this or like that. I've seen that before, where you get behind the pick and you're sort of doing that. You want to angle the pick down like that, so it's heading in that direction. Okay, so that's what we're going to do there. And then we're just going to pick number 1 on here, so we're going to pick that. That's just simply, that's a down pick. Okay, so that's a down pick. Alternate pick would just be alternating between the down and then back up for an up. Okay, that's a bit harder, so that's like. Okay, that's something to practice, but throughout this course you'll get away just using down picked. Okay, I think we've covered everything there. The only other thing I probably would say is how to properly hold the guitar. Try not to get into the habit of sort of lying the guitar like that. I've seen that before, where you're sort of trying to look at the guitar as you. And I get why you do it, because you're learning something new. But try and keep the guitar on this comfortable pit, the cut out here, this comfortable part. Try and put that on the top of your leg there, right at the top, just comfortable, and keep the guitar upright like that. If you need to, obviously you can have a little look over like that, but try not to sort of angle the guitar so you can see it like that, because it will slip off your leg. Yes, you've probably seen it before as well. Classical players do sometimes play it like that on their left leg, like that. This is not a classical guitar course, so I would advise you to keep it on your right leg, okay? And also, you might be left-handed as well, so your guitar will look a little bit different to mine. That's absolutely fine, but just try and keep it, as I said, on a comfortable position on whichever leg you choose. But I would suggest, if you're a right-handed player, you keep it on the right leg, okay? Right, that's enough of me talking. Let's get on with the course.